Welcome to LawCrestUSA, where we make American law simple and understandable for everyone. Have you ever wondered what really happens after someone is arrested in the United States? What are the exact steps that take a person from the moment of arrest to appearing in court? And how does the justice system make sure everything is fair and legal? In today's video, we'll break down the entire criminal justice process, step by step, from the first police contact to the final court decision. You'll understand how the US system protects your rights, what police can and cannot do, and what happens inside courtrooms that most people never see. Let's begin. In the United States, an arrest can happen in two main ways: when the police personally witness a crime, or when they have probable cause based on evidence and witness statements. Probable cause is the key phrase here. It means the police must have reasonable belief that a person has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime. Without it, any arrest is illegal. When an arrest is made, the officer must identify themselves, explain the reason for arrest, and most importantly, read the Miranda rights. You've probably heard this in movies. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. These rights are not just a formality, they protect citizens from self-incrimination. If the police fail to read them, any statement made by the suspect might not be admissible in court. After the arrest, the suspect is handcuffed, searched, and transported to a police station for booking. The booking process includes recording personal information, taking fingerprints and photographs, confiscating personal belongings, and entering details into the system. At this stage, the suspect officially becomes a defendant in the eyes of the law. But being arrested does not mean the person is guilty. It simply means there is enough evidence to question them further. The real process begins next. After being taken into custody, the suspect is placed in a holding cell. Police verify their identity, check for outstanding warrants, and create an official arrest record. Depending on the seriousness of the crime, the suspect might be held until the first court appearance, or released if the case is minor. At this point, law enforcement prepares an incident report or arrest affidavit, summarizing why the arrest was made and what evidence supports it. The report is then sent to the district attorney's office for review. The DA will decide whether the evidence is strong enough to file formal criminal charges. If the DA declines, the suspect is released. If the DA agrees, the case moves to court and the next step begins: the arraignment. The arraignment is the first official court hearing after an arrest. It usually happens within 48 to 72 hours of being taken into custody. During the arraignment, the defendant is brought before a judge. They are informed about the charges filed against them. Their constitutional rights are explained, and they are asked to enter a plea, either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. At this stage, the judge also decides whether the defendant will remain in custody or be released on bail. Bail is a financial guarantee that ensures the defendant will return for trial. If they pay the bail amount, they can go home until the next court date. If they don't appear later, the bail money is forfeited, and a warrant is issued for their arrest. For minor offenses, judges often release the person on recognizance, meaning they promise to return without paying money. After the arraignment, the court sets a preliminary hearing date. This is where both sides, the prosecution and defense, start building their cases. This step depends on whether the case is handled at the state or federal level. In state cases, there is usually a preliminary hearing where the judge reviews evidence to decide if there is enough to go to trial. In federal cases, the matter often goes before a grand jury, a group of citizens who review evidence in secret and decide whether to issue an indictment or formal charge. The key question both processes answer is there probable cause to believe the defendant committed the crime? If yes, the case proceeds to trial. If not, charges can be dismissed or modified. During this stage, both prosecution and defense can present evidence, challenge witnesses, and argue about the strength of the case. This phase also gives the defense team their first full look at the evidence, allowing them to prepare a strategy or even negotiate a plea bargain, an agreement where the defendant pleads guilty to a lesser charge to avoid a longer sentence. 2. The trial is the heart of the American criminal justice system. It's where truth is tested and justice is decided. Every defendant in the US has the right to a fair and public trial by a jury of peers. That means ordinary citizens, not judges alone, decide the verdict. A typical trial has several stages: jury selection, opening statements, presentation of evidence, cross-examination, and closing arguments. The prosecution must prove the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. If the jury has any serious doubt, they must return a not guilty verdict. After deliberation, the jury announces the verdict. If not guilty, the defendant is free. If guilty, the court moves to sentencing. Trials can take hours, days, or even months depending on the complexity of the case. The process may seem long, but it's designed to protect every citizen's rights, ensuring that no one is punished without solid, proven evidence. Once a defendant is found guilty, the court schedules a sentencing hearing. Here, the judge reviews factors like the severity of the crime, the defendant's criminal history, and the impact on victims. Both the defense and prosecution can make statements. The defendant can also speak directly to the court, a moment called allocution, where they can express remorse or explain their side. The judge then announces the sentence. This could include fines, community service, probation, or imprisonment depending on the case. But the process doesn't always end there. The defendant has the right to appeal the verdict or sentence, asking a higher court to review for legal errors. Appels retry the case. They only examine whether the trial was fair and the law was applied correctly. If the appeal succeeds, the case may be retried, the sentence reduced, or even dismissed. This final step ensures that justice remains balanced, not one-sided. And that's how the U.S. criminal justice system works, from arrest to court. Every step from investigation to trial follows strict legal procedures designed to protect the innocent and ensure fairness for everyone. While the process may seem complex, its purpose is clear. Justice must be based on truth and proof, not assumptions. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, share it with friends, and subscribe to LawCrestUSA for more educational insights into the American legal system. We'll explore how bail and plea bargains actually work in the US and how they can change the outcome of a case. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay empowered.